This is John T for the Boxing Voice, and I'm pleased to say I'm joined this evening by super bantamweight English prospect Jack Bateson. How are you, Jack?
I'm good, thank you, John. Thanks for having me on.
No worries. Thanks for coming on. How's your day? I think you've been sparring today.
Yes, everything's been going well. Training's going well. So, yeah, I'm just looking forward to fight night now.
Yeah, I'm going to come on to that in a minute. You're on a big MTK card. I think it's the 17th, isn't it, of April?
17th of April, 3 weeks on Saturday.
Yeah, quality. So you'll be sort of right into camp at the moment. Good for sparring.
Yeah.
Well, look, start off if it's all right. Another win last time out. You're now up to 12-0, so you're starting to make a lot of noise, certainly at British level. How was the last fight for you? You beat Craddock. Was that a good evening for you?
Yeah, no, it was a good fight for me. He was 2-0. So I didn't really know what I was getting in with. I never heard or seen anything of him before. So, you know, when someone's 2-0, they're sort of untested. He could be the next best thing, or he could be not so good and fought a couple of journeymen. But he was a game lad. He gave me a good 6 rounds, and you know, I won every round. I scored a couple of knockdowns, but it was nice for me, you know, to get the round in and, you know, pick up another good win.
Yeah, excellent stuff. I think you've had a couple of, one big fight that was a few big fights, cards you've been on, but one in particular was at Ellen Road, I think, on a Warrington card. What was that like for you? Because I think you're a big Leeds United fan, is that right?
Yeah.
Must have been.
I am. It's something I've dreamt of it from a little kid, you know, and to do it in, I think it was my 5th or 6th fight, something early on in my career, it was special because, you know, I dreamt of it, you know, doing it, you know, fighting for a world title or whatever down the line. But to do it so early on the undercard of a world title fight, it was special. And it's given me that buzz now to want to, you know, do it and headline that sort of show myself. So, you know, I've got a long way to go, but, you know, without your dreams and goals, you know, you need that for your ambition to go to work in the gym.
Yeah, really good. And I know you've got a real loyal following up there. And it seems to be, certainly from afar, I'm a Southerner, as you can tell from my accent, but the Leeds fans seem to really do get behind their fighters as well as their football team. So that's a good ambition to have. Yeah,
100%. I mean, I'm lucky to be from Leeds. Like you say, they get behind you no matter what the sport, no matter what it is you're doing, they always get behind you. And, you know, I'm thankful that, you know, I always have a good team of followers when they are allowed to come to the shows anyway.
Yeah, well, that brings me on to, I think your last fight was behind closed doors, wasn't it? So how was that experience in the bubble and or not having fans there?
Yeah, it wasn't good in terms of, you know, not having the fans there because, you know, like I say, I always have a good team of supporters and it's nice to have them there. But with my experience in the amateur game, you know, fighting all over the world with Team GB, a lot of the time we fought in these little sports halls with nobody there, no family, no friends, just our teammates to support us. And that experience, you know, made up for a lot because it just felt like another day in the office for me, to be honest.
Good stuff. Well, look, we'll have the fans back soon. Obviously, the next fight,
you're
not going to have them, but your experience now in that bubble. You mentioned your amateur career. I was going to touch on that because you're very decorated. You were part of the Team GB, which is elite at that level, if you like, anyway. And as you've gone into the pro ranks, you've just sort of like coasted into it, if you like. What does look good for this next fight from the fans' points, Jack, is it looks like your opponent is a big step up. What do you know about Joe Ham? Oh, I've lost you a bit, mate. I've lost your volume. Is your speaker there? Can't hear you. I can hear like a muffled noise. I don't know if it's your speaker.
And then unmute.
That's it. I've got you. I've got you back.
Got me, yeah?
Yeah. So what do you know?
There?
Don't know, mate. Don't worry. No worries. What do you know about Joe Ham?
So, Joe Ham, I know he's a good kid. You know, we were actually on the GB squad together for a short while. I think he left the system in 2014, and I left in 2017. So we spent a bit of time together. I was a bit lighter than him at the time. I was sort of a young kid coming through, so he'll probably still remember me as, you know, a young lad. But I know he's a good fighter. Like you say, he's a good step up. And for people that know the boxing, it's a good 50-50 fight. And it's one that I'm looking to hopefully, you know, shine in and it'll take me to that next level.
It is a good 50-50 fight on paper, right? He's had a couple of defeats and a few more fights than you, but it looks very balanced on paper, which then brings me on to, should you come through that, and I know you won't overlook him anyway, but because of the step up in class, where do you see your career going after that? Because they probably don't want to rush you. You're a young lad as well, but with that amateur pedigree in the GB squad, and you're now up to 12-0, once you start getting into double figures, you usually start thinking about like titles. Whether that's a local one, an area title, or even the English title.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely for me, sort of titles. I think in realistic world, you know, this sort of fight could be for a title. You know, it's an 8-round fight, but you know, with two fighters that could easily be matched for some sort of title, and I feel like me winning this will then put me in good stead for these titles, whether that be English, British, one of these, you know, world organization titles. But I'm ready for that now. And I had a match up against Bateson, which was a year and a half, 2 years ago, and about a week before I had to pull out with a fractured hand, and that was for the English title. So my eyes have been on titles for a long while now, and I do get jealous seeing a lot of these other lads, you know, that I was in the amateurs with, going on and you know, lifting titles. So I know that my time will come eventually.
Very grounded and level-headed. And I was going to bring on up 2 names, and you've just done one. So Bateson, I think he's still the English champion, even though he lost his last fight because that belt wasn't on the line. So, and he's a northerner up there as well. So that could be a good fight they make up. And what about?
Yeah, it would be good.
Yeah, and the opponent who beat him, Chris Bourke. So he's a southerner, but I think he was part of the GB squad as well. Do you know Chris?
Yeah. I spent a bit of time with Chris as well. I think he was on development at the time when I was on the podium squad full time, and another good lad, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of good talent coming through, you know, from England and Britain, and I'm just looking forward to being in the mix with these big fights, because I feel I'm there now, and I don't think it'll be long before, you know, I'm involved in these big fights.
Excellent stuff. Well, hopefully you come through for you in a couple of weeks' time, and then there'll be the fights. I think Bateson has still got that English title. Bourke's fighting for the international silver title, possibly. He's meant to be out this weekend, I think, but that fight got pulled. So I'm sure that will be a fight that they look to make going forward. Well, look, thanks so much for taking the time out, Jack. I appreciate you busy with sparring and that. We'll be watching the Boxing Voice and seeing how you get on in a couple of weeks, and we'll pick up with you after the fight. Is that all right?
Thank you, John. No, I really appreciate having me on, and great speaking with you.
You too, mate. Cheers, Jack. All the best.
So if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive, from Border Wars and title, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.